Taxpayers should not have to loan $140 billion to politically connected companies. It's just wrong. Government has no business taking your money and giving it to certain companies. The Exim Bank should be killed simply because it's wrong in principle. However, this week the bank gave politicians another reason to let it die. The Wall Street Journal reports that bank officials are being investigated for taking bribes, kickbacks. Such corruption is not unique to the bank. It often happens when government agencies hand out big money. Tim Carney reports on that all the time. Tim, let's start with the current scandal. Your latest Washington Examiner column says the bank is a petri dish of corruption and graft.
Yeah, I don't think that the bank is full of a bunch of white-collar criminals, or it's anything about the people who work there. I think it's the nature of the bank. When you combine government power and private profit, you've got people handing out other people's money that enrich companies. You're asking for corruption to happen.
And in this case, what they say is that a bank employee took cash to help a Florida company get a loan to send construction equipment to Latin America.
And then we've also got 3 other unnamed officials who were suspended for things like taking gifts from companies that were getting subsidies. So we know that in one case, Exxon-Mobile gave plane rides to officials before Exxon went ahead and got a subsidy from Export-Import Bank.
You say it's not just the bank, but they did take a survey of their employees in 2013. Question: my organization's leaders maintain high standards of honesty and integrity. Do you agree? 42%. Disagree, 29%. That's pretty high.
Yeah, so it's, again, we end up with a situation where a bunch of people are in the position of handing out money. And unlike some government programs where every player in an industry gets a subsidy, not every exporter gets an Export-Import Bank subsidy. Only less than 2% of exports get a subsidy. So it really is picking winners and losers. I think you put anybody in that situation, then you're going to get questions about honesty and integrity. There's going to be such an opportunity for kickbacks.
And one congressman who got caught was William Jackson. What did he do?
William Jefferson was caught with $90,000 in his fridge, and now he's in jail. He got a 13-year sentence on bribery charges. And one of the things he did was demand bribes from a Nigerian company and from a U.S. company. And then he brought them together at the Export-Import Bank as part of what they were paying him for. And the funny thing is, when that deal fell apart, he went and he found another Nigerian company, brought it together with the same Virginia company, again taking bribes at the Export-Import Bank.
And the Nigerians got to the bank because Maureen Edu was indicted for taking a $100,000 bribe. She worked at the bank.
Yeah, so Edu was a bank official, and she just got wired $100,000. And the Nigerian businessman who sent it to her, when he requested the money from his own bank, he said, well, this is a facilitation payment to Maureen Edu for helping us get money. It was pretty cut and dried.
But yesterday at the Exim Bank hearing, Congresswoman Carolyn McCarthy implied some corruption's no surprise.
Yes, they found 4 employees. They did an investigation, and they let them go. That's the way the system works. Anybody that understands any business, there are always going to be people that are going to try to rig the system.
That's the way the system works.
That's the way the system works when you have the government involved, when you have bureaucrats providing profit to private players and getting to pick and choose who's getting it. There are some government programs where you meet a certain standard, you get the benefit or you get the tax break. I oppose those, but those don't provide the opportunity for corruption as the Export-Import Bank does, because, again, politicians, bureaucrats are going and they're picking winners and losers, deciding this guy gets a subsidy, this guy doesn't.
Fannie and Freddie provide the opportunity, too. A Fannie Mae executive was fired for taking kickbacks. You wrote about that.
And so in 2013, a Fannie Mae executive was let go, and there was a criminal scheme where some of the middlemen who got involved as brokers between when it came to foreclosed properties that Fannie Mae was involved in. So it was another one of these situations where Fannie Mae, a government-owned business, was playing with other people's money. And once you're doing that, once you see that you are handing out somebody else's money, then you're putting the person who's handing out the money in position to demand a bribe.
The Republicans say we can
that.
fix this, some Republicans, with reforms, the ones who don't want to kill it. You buy that?
No, because every time the Export-Import Bank is reauthorized, there's a promise of reforms. Oh, we're going to stop giving all our money to just 10 big businesses. Or, oh, we're going to stop subsidizing foreign manufacturers that might kill jobs back here. And they never really successfully follow through on those reforms. Even if they follow the letter of the law, it doesn't do what they want. If you want to get rid of the corruption and the opportunity for the kickbacks, the only way to do it is to get the politicians out of the position of giving out this money. The only way to do it is to kill the Export-Import Bank.